Hi everyone! In this video we are going to take a look at Huda Beauty's new matte and metal melted double-ended eyeshadows. These are a Sephora exclusive, which means you can only purchase them through Sephora's website or of course Huda Beauty's website directly. I will tell you I purchased these through Huda Beauty's website and it took a good while for them to get shipped to me, so I think I would probably prefer next time to buy them through Sephora. It was during the holidays, but I made multiple purchases during the holidays through other brands' websites. I purchased the Huda Beauty items first, and of all the orders I put in, it arrived last. So just to let you know, before we get into it, remember to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you want to know when new videos like this are posted. Check the description box for the link to where you can purchase these online if you are interested, as well as a link to eBay so that if you do purchase online, you can get some cash back on your order. All right, let's get looking at the Huda Beauty Matte and Metal Melted Double-Ended Eyeshadows. So these retail for $25 each. As you can see, there are a total of 5 different shade combinations. So Huda Beauty says that these innovative shadows bring versatile color and finish combinations that create must-have looks in one swipe. The matte shadows are highly pigmented and easy to blend, while the metallic shadows allow for a precise application with the paintbrush-like applicator. Now, in terms of how to use these, the brand says that for the matte sides, you can apply them to the center of the lid and then blend them out either with the finger or the brush. You can also use them as a liner by using the edge of the doe foot or, putting it on the back of your hand and putting them on with a liner brush. And that they can be used over powder eyeshadows. For the metal side, it says to use the paintbrush-like applicator to apply as a glitter eyeliner or all over the lid. For a shimmer effect, you should blend the formula with your brush or a finger, or of course you can use them as a glitter topper over the matte formula or a powder eyeshadow. So stay tuned to the end of the video. I will be applying one of the shade combinations to the eye to create an eye look and see how easy they are to use and how they function. So here is the first duo. The matte side is called Private Jet, and the glitter side is Shimmering Sunset. Here we have Silk Bomber and Bubblegum, Faux Fur, and Bamboo Hoops, Hot Sauce, and Cherry Soda, and Bubble Bath, and Pink Champagne. So in terms of the packaging, these come in clear plastic squared tubes. The packaging is very nice. The matte side has a pinched doe-footed applicator, and the metal side has more like a paintbrush. All right, so we start with Private Jet, which is a warm pink matte. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch the matte, then the shimmer, and then the shimmer over the matte. So I'm going to swatch these twice and let them dry. Shimmering Sunset is a burnished amber glitter. Seems a little chunky. Okay, and after letting that second matte swatch dry down, I didn't put this back in the tube because I want kind of a sheer layer to see how these can mix together and what it looks like more as a topper. Because if you're just going to apply it straight out of the tube like that, I feel like it's just going to cover it up and you're not even going to see the base underneath. So this is not with any extra product added. Silk Bomber is, they say a matte purple, but this is like a violet color. Bubblegum is a duochromed fuchsia toned glitter. Not quite sure what the duochrome is. In the tube, it seems to be maybe like a soft gold flash. Trying to layer this, but it doesn't layer very well. And again, it just seems kind of thick and gloopy. And then the glitter on top. And again, with all of these, I'm gonna do a sheer application when I'm putting them on top of the matte shade. And honestly, this might be the best even if you're using the glitter alone in order to avoid this gloopiness that you see when we swatch it by itself. Because these swatches I do without wiping off the product. Faux Fur, it says it's a light peach toned nude, but I really don't see any peach in this shade. It's just a very pale nude color. Bamboo Hoops is an oyster gold glitter. Not sure where the oyster comes from. This is a gold, but then it's almost like a peachy tone to it. Trying to smooth this out. Wow, that's a stunning color there. And applied over top. Hot Sauce is a warm red. Looks like a carnation shade to me. Cherry Soda is a silver and red glitter. This one did not come out as gloopy. Applied over top. I feel like this would make a really beautiful lip shade. Don't know that I would really put a red or a pinky red like this on my lids. But on the lips, they look beautiful. Bubble Bath is a very dusty pale pink. Pink Champagne is a silver-based cool pink glitter. Again, not as gloopy. Am I getting better at swatching them, or are these last couple shades just not as gloopy in formula? I don't know. But in either case, I would just go ahead and when you're using them, wipe the brush off first before you apply them to the lids. And applied over top. Also, I feel like would make a very nice lip duo. And I'll probably do some footage of me applying them to lips to see how that goes, just to let you know. Okay, so I have let all these fully dry down. Okay, there's maybe a little bit of a gloopy there, but for the most part fully dry down, which is one thing. The mattes do take a long time to dry down. Probably also the glitters though, but it's harder to tell with those because they're already shiny. It's harder to tell whether they're fully dried down or not. I will say, if you're going to blend these out, like through the crease, then they, of course, will not take as long to dry. And also, maybe you will not see as much crepiness as you do with some of the shades, particularly the first one. I don't know if you can see that texture. I mean, it just looks really bumpy and wrinkly. It doesn't look very flattering. Like I said, if you're going to blend them out, that'll mitigate that effect, but they also say you can use them as liners, so if you really are just putting a straight swipe of color as a liner, I feel like you might get a bit of this creepiness showing up. And you already know what my comments are about the shimmering shades to apply them in more of a thin layer. But definitely very pretty shades here. So I did end up applying actually a couple of the shades onto my lips, and you can definitely use them on the lips. They apply just fine, but I will say that they dry down to a very dry finish and they make the lips look pruny. They actively wrinkle up the lips. So I would just stick to your normal liquid lipsticks, even though you can potentially use these for a lip color, and you can even apply that glitter topper over the matte side. Both the glitter and the matte sides are very drying, so I wouldn't really suggest this formula for that purpose. I also found it surprisingly difficult to apply the glitter on top of the matte when applying them to the lips. And I'm not sure if that's the shape of the brush or what, but it was difficult. You would think that with a brush applicator that's not as thick, it's thinner and supposed to be more precise. I had trouble getting a precise border on the lips, so you could kind of very clearly see the matte on the border of the lips where I wasn't quite able to get the glitter to go on top of there. Okay, so I'm gonna use the Bubble Bath and Pink Champagne duo, and I am going to apply the matte side first, and I'm gonna put it in the crease and blend it out. And I'm going to use for that purpose a Ray Morris brush and a set that I received. This is the 8.5 Cream Shadow Shader. I have found this to be a phenomenal brush for blending out cream and liquid shadows. So that's what we're going to go with. So I'm gonna try to not apply too thick of a layer here in the crease. We'll build it up if we need to. So like I would with a powder product, I am blending it out. And again, I think using the proper brush, or a brush that works well with a cream shadow, is going to be really important if you want to use this formula in this manner. And the reason this brush is so good is that it's pretty densely packed, but it's still fairly narrow. Okay, so that's what that looks like. It's a pretty thin layer of color, so I'm going to go back in and build it up. Again, I'm trying to avoid that crepey finish we got in the swatches, so I'm trying to not apply too much of this at once. There is this one spot right here in the crease where I feel like product is not staying. I'm gonna try to build that up a little. Use a little more of a patting motion with the swiping. There we go. I think that's pretty much the end for that matte shade there. And then I've wiped off the brush significantly before applying this to the lid. Okay, I've laid that down. I'm gonna go in with my finger to try to fill in the gaps, smooth out the layer of color. I'm actually pretty happy with that. I mean, it's a very simple look, and it's gonna be two-dimensional, just given the nature of having two colors. And this particular shade is not super vibrant. I didn't want it to be because I'm actually gonna go out with this look and didn't want to go too crazy there. Okay, here's both eyes done. Just with the shadows, no liner, no other powder shades, which I'll probably apply to deepen out the corners or something like that. So I created the rest of this look using products from the Becca collaboration collection with Chloe and Malika. So if you have not seen the swatch review and application video for that, I will link it in the upper right hand corner for you to see. Make sure you go check that video out too. But all in all, I am pretty happy with this look. Again, pretty simple and straightforward. I do think the formula blends out well and is, like I said, straightforward to use. I did apply a very thin layer of eyeshadow primer before I used these, just for your information. I think that the positives are, like I said, they seem to blend out, especially with the matte shades, but I think that will only happen if you have the correct brush. This kind of form factor is very easy to mess up and very easy to be difficult to use if you're not using the correct brush for that blending buffing purpose. And the sparkling side is very beautiful. It is larger chunks of glitter, but it doesn't look gaudy or chunky or flaky or anything like that. And I will also say that once you've blended and buffed out the matte shades, I didn't notice any crepiness or emphasizing of wrinkles. And same with the glittering side, but remember I wiped off the brush first and I patted it into the skin after application. So if you don't do those things, I think it's very likely these will look crepey and wrinkly and flaky. So, you know, it's a product that you do need to work with. It is not the most straightforward or simple to use, but you can get a simple and, you know, smooth look and effect at the end of the day if you use it properly. The downsides, I think one small thing is with the brush applicators on the glittering side, you probably could see in the video that at least one or two of them have already started fraying even right out of the tube. So, you know, that's something that will probably worsen over time as you're reinserting and pulling the brush out of the tube over and over. That is something that will likely make the application a little more difficult or messy in the future. And honestly, at the end of the day, I really don't think this is a truly innovative formula. I know Huda Beauty has kind of a reputation for really saying that all of the products that are released by them are revolutionary and not like anything else on the market. I don't think that that's true for many of the other products, and including this product. There are a lot of other liquid shadows that I have used for years that are basically like this. Even matte ones where you can buff them out with a brush and they do look smooth as long as you use them correctly. And especially with a lot of liquid shimmering shadows, also those are prevalent on the market. So do I think this is a nice product? Yes, I do, especially if used properly. Do I think that it's necessarily innovative or even worth the price point? Not necessarily. So let me know in the comment section below what you think, whether there's a particular duo that you really liked, what you think of the formula if you've used them yourself, etc. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that this was helpful if you were curious about this formula and this new product. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.